now, ladies and gentlemen, the star of our show, direct from the bar.
Today, still wanted by the government, they survive as soldiers of fortune. If you have a problem, if no one else can help, and if you can find them, maybe you can hire...
They're back!
Driving all the way in! Oh, God! An unbelievable move! He put it in and it counts! Can you believe that?
That's the most frightening thing a defender can see. You be the only guy back on defense and he's coming at you.
It back, 3 on the way. Yes, sir! Oh, he turned around, too! That was dirty! Oh, what a shot! He is ruthless!
Welcome to our world.
Yes, people, yo, 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 yo. Welcome back to the Delinquent Show, where we don't sugarcoat anything. We don't play safe, and we never hold back. We just speak the truth. The raw, unfiltered, straight from the wheelchair basketball streets. Guess what? We're from the hood. We don't have no agenda, no politics, just plain facts, history and passion. If it rattles some cages, who gives a shit? That's what we're here for. That's what we're here for. Now then, Johnny, I've got a surprise for you. You don't know, but I thought...
Don't throw me under the bus live, lad. Doesn't work. You get revenge.
I have a surprise for you. You know...
Good.
Are you doing anything? Is it the week of the 16th? That weekend, Friday to Sunday? Are you free?
It's my birthday on the 11th. I might still be in my birthday mode.
It's alright, we can continue that birthday mode.
Alright. You got me birthday present then?
Are you doing anything, first of all, before I tell you? Because you can't back out.
Not that I know of. Not that I know of.
Right, you are now. You're booked. I've only just bought 2 tickets. 2 tickets. To the National Championship Finals. We're all gonna go, me and you.
What, at Worcester?
Oh, yes, sir. We're gonna
what a waste of money. I can't go, I'm banned.
No, we're going. Never said anything like that when it said buy tickets. So I bought tickets. It's cost me 20 quid. The worst 20 quid I've spent, but the fun we're gonna have. We could just paint the town red.
I've painted that town too many times.
Yep. So, you know, our first game is Friday. The only thing is, right?
It's Friday.
Yeah. So, obviously, I'll pick you up Friday. You drive down to me and then I'll drive down. But there's a big problem that I found. I don't know who the fuck... Who's playing? There's no information on who's playing. I looked it up, but I thought, you know, just buy the tickets. Don't worry about it. They'd love to see me and you, wouldn't they?
Well, it's funny you should say that, because 2 or 3 people have actually wrote to us asking, who's playing who? Who's qualified for the finals?
I don't know.
I can't tell you. I don't know who's in the finals. In fact, after a phone call today for 1 hour and 8 minutes, I've come to learn that, 1... regarding the Premier League, there's no... Well, obviously there's no promotion because that's the top tier, but there's no relegation.
Let's talk about it later. We'll talk about that later.
Alright.
I was just making sure
we're going.
Yeah.
On the road again.
We're on the road again. We're on the road again. Listen, I'm looking forward to it, man. Woohoo! It's gonna be smoking. Hey, maybe I've got it, lad. Maybe we do a show from there. We get our equipment and we do a show live while the game's going on.
Ooh, interesting. We could have a guest then.
Anyway, I love to give secrets. Do you know what I mean? I thought I'd pay you back for all the dinners that you've got to give me, so I thought I'd pay you back. Anyway, you got the shout-outs, bruv. What's the shout-outs?
Well, we've only got one shout-out this weekend, and it comes after Champions Cup finals. We was in the live chat. Same situation, similar situation, shall I say, than the Euro Cup 1, 2 and 3 weekend. The stream. You got the Champions Cup finals. There's no commentary. Doesn't matter if it's in German, Spanish, English. There's no commentary. There was people in the chat asking for commentary. At one point, the sound actually went dead in the game, so you couldn't even hear the stadium.
Well,
it was awful viewing.
I reckon.
I.W.B.F. This is a shout out. Sort your act out. There should be a set duo of commentators that can banter off each other, like they had at the Paris Paralympics.
Do you think,
two people. When it was one person, it doesn't work. You need banter.
Like me and you?
Yeah, like Roy Keane and Ian Wright.
Righty. Yeah, man, that's good. I think we're gonna have to check for an invite. We need to be commentate. Ooh, maybe we could commentate while we're there in Worcester.
That's if the stream works. I wouldn't hold your breath.
Anyway, let's get to the main event, man. Let's get to the main event.
Oh, main event, as I've just led into it, the Champions Cup. Was it a fizzle or was it flat? Did it have the Bucks fizz or was it champagne? What did you make of it? Well, let's break it down.
Right, for me, the only fizzle was somebody else was in the final, somebody different. We haven't had an Italian team close to that. That's the only fizzle. The flatness was...
Down, then. The first semi-final was an all-Spanish affair. El Clasico, as they call it now. Ilunion have had the rip on them all season. It was destined to be an Ilunion win. But a team that currently holds a title of being 3 times in a row champions of the Champions Cup, going for an unprecedented 4-peat, turned up. And it wasn't just they turned up, you know. I watched it. I watched the build-up. I watched them arrive, everything. Ilunion, they had that swag. They had that confidence. It was already a done deal. And Phil Pratt, Ben Fox and the rest put that to bed. Then saying that, Ben Fox had a situation just like in Paris with Australia.
Benny boy, you know I love you, brother. He got
his third foul. Once he got that third foul, I'm sat watching the game. I'm thinking,
the mist.
It's going to happen. It's going to happen again. And then, boom, 2 fouls. He was out of the game. Was on the line. Listen,
Benny boy, he knows I love him because he's just, you know what I mean. He's me. That's what I say because I found him, Benny boy. You're getting caught with the same fouls. Yeah, you just need to take a breath. That's all, lad. Doing a great job, loving you, watching you play. But
he's playing outstanding.
We need you to be in those games. We need you to stay in the games because we need you at GB. The thing is, you've got to learn from those fouls. I don't know if you're not watching tapes, but your coaches to say, look, Ben, these are the same fouls you're getting. You know, a guy's going in front of you and just clipping his back wheel. Just let him go. Sometimes you got to let him go and then recover. Yeah. You know what I mean? But keep going, Benny boy. Loving it.
Yeah, so that first semi-final, it had an upset. Ilunion crashed out. They were done. Their season was over. Well done, your league champions, but everyone knows Fundosa or Ilunion, whatever you want to call them, they crave this title.
Yeah, and the second semi-final, our prediction who would win it crashed and burned, didn't it?
Oh, Turinga, Bulls, I don't know what's happened to them. And the strange thing was, on the stats, it was easy to see. On the stats, it simply read Turinga shot 33% and the other team shot 50%.
Yeah, but the Godfather had their number. The Godfather of basketball.
There was one moment in the game. If I'd have remembered where it was, I would have edited it. Dimitri Tanguy for Julian Over was playing a point in defence, and he sagged off too low. And when Turinga got the ball to Jordi Ruiz at the point for an open shot, all you could hear was Carlo Di Giusto, Gimme! It was too late. Shot had gone. He looked at Carlo, he put his hands up, he said, I know, I've cocked up. My father doesn't miss a thing. No, Carlo Di Giusto, unbelievable.
Because he plans. I've been with him. You know, he plans. He's miraculous at what he does. There's no real way, to be fair, that young team that he's got should have got to the finals. Let alone, you know, I just don't think they should have got there. Tyrion, seasoned veterans. But I think the problem with the Champions Cup now, it's got stale. Because the same 4 teams or 3 teams are there. So they're just taking it for granted they're always going to be in the final. So they're not working hard. So
well, we'll get to that in the debate zone.
Okay. Now let's move on then. I won't talk.
So,
what?
Obviously, Turinga lost that, who we thought was going to be in the final.
Yeah, I know.
So we ended up with a third and fourth playoff game, which was what we all anticipated to be the final. Ilunion and Turinga, and it was the same situation. One team shot 50%, the other team shot 34%. Game over. And to be honest, it was over in the first quarter. Ilunion won the first quarter 26-7. That was all she wrote. It was never a game after that. Never a game. It was literally, we watched it, and it was using the quarters just as a countdown to get ready for the final. Because in the final, it was, are we going to see a four-peat for the first time in history? So, let's get on to the final.
We did.
The Italians turned up, and for the first half of that game, it could have gone either way. It was a two-point game at half-time. I'll admit, even I was thinking, Jesus, this is unbelievable. But then in the second half, the pedigree...
Yeah, they put their foot on the gas, didn't they? And I think it's just experience. They've been there before. The Italian team haven't been there, and they're very young.
And I can say this after watching it with my eye. On the score sheet, Salazar got the MVP of the game and the tournament. But realistically, it was Phil Pratt.
I thought that too. I'm not really sure.
The kid was a general. He orchestrated everything. 16 assists. He might have not scored heavily in the final, but he still come away with his average of 16 assists.
Yeah, I didn't think Salazar was the MVP of the tournament. I thought Phil Pratt was the general.
One thing I noticed with Phil Pratt, he's changed his game defensively. I've never known a 3-point guard to be able to make 4.5 pointers change the shot inside as much as he does.
Yeah, he had a hell of a tournament, I think. Hell of
He
a
did.
tournament. And they won, so good job, Phil. Yeah,
4-peat.
4 in a row.
So, for the first time in IWBF history, we've had a team win it. Not just a 3-peat, but a 4-peat.
But for me, John, yes, they've won a 4-peat, but I think it's easier to win a 4-peat now because you don't have to play the series of games. I think it's easier.
Well, that's where we're up to. We're in the debate zone now, the Champions Cup. Is it a better deal to have this Final Four format, or was it better 15 years ago when it was 2 groups of 5 or 2 groups of 4?
And the reason I would say the reason it's better is there wasn't really much of a crowd there, was there?
No, it was dead.
It was dead. So if you've got all of the teams there, they bring their supporters. All of the teams there, it gives it a spectacle. It's an absolute... Like, I know, I've been to Champions Cup in the L formation. Could barely get in.
Yeah.
Could barely get through the door. You just couldn't get in. You know, we drove to Zwickau and went to one. I think it was Galatasaray versus... Was it Fundoza in the final? I think it may be. It was standing room only. Now with Final Four, it's not. Because there's not many teams there. They're not going to travel just to watch 2 games. One on one day and one on the other.
Exactly.
You're better off going back to the old format. You know, have the preliminary rounds. You know what I mean? Like how they had. And just have the Champions Cup like it is. And then, you know, it's much more of a spectacle because you've got spectators there. There's nothing better than the spectators. And are the spectators sick of seeing it in the same place all the time? Because, you know, Champions Cup, you never knew where you was going to go. You could go to Germany, Spain, Italy. We've been to Spain.
The thing is, what you're saying about it's always more or less the same 4 people in the Final Four, you're going to eliminate that prediction if you've got 2 groups of 5 fighting for a semi-final place.
Yeah, of course. Like
it's quite easy.
The last time I played in it, was in Sheffield. That was the last time I played in the Champions Cup in Sheffield, and we had 2 groups. Was it 5 or 4? It may be 4 or 5. I'm not sure. But we won 1 game. We'd lost the game. We came into the Saturday still in with a chance of getting to the semi-final. We just had to not lose by a certain amount, and that was jeopardy. It's jeopardy all the way through, and you had to be tough and fit and strong. Do you know what I mean? I think the way it is now is kind of boring because you're getting the same teams. You could always get an underdog that may sneak through to the semi-finals.
Exactly. But at the same time, with what happened this weekend with Ilunion losing that first game and it was over for them.
Yeah.
If they'd have lost the first game in a 2 pools tournament, you could still recover. You still got 2 games to recover.
Yeah, exactly, and that gives it a chance.
Yeah.
So we'll leave that there. That's a thought that we've leave there. So the next one,
the big issue.
The big issue. We need to have like a piece of paper for the big issue that sounds big issue.
Yeah.
Is the classification chaos has returned. Our third eye has returned. What the hell have you found, Big J?
Well, as it was revealed yesterday on Facebook, because now the Third Eye Challenge runs from Tuesday to Thursday, give time for people to add on the comments what they think. There was a classic comment by Gary Davidson. Gary Davidson wrote in that he thought Haluski was a 3.5 and Gabriel Benvenuto was a 4.5. Well, we confirmed after this week's Euro Champions Cup that the guy in question, Gabriel Benvenuto, is a 3-point classification.
What?
Just watch this video and look at what we found.
The heat is on. The heat is on.
Il grande ex, sHoW. Vincere significherebbe avere ancora la speranza di qualificarsi alle Final Four di Coppa Italia, in programma il 22-23.
So as you just see, that's Gabriel Benvenuto, the 3-pointer. That on Google, through the Italian Federation, says he's got a neurological disease that paralysed him at the age of 16. That's through Google Translate. Whether it reads that in Italian, God knows. But this picture is him stood up, being interviewed for his club, Julian Ober.
It doesn't make sense. All right, if he's got that disease, there's no way he should be a 3. The minimum he should be is a 4.5, if he should be at all.
Well, if you scroll back and look at that video, he has the same pushing technique as 2 players that I can think of. One is Sandro Cherubini, and the other is Stuart Yellows.
And why did they have those techniques, John? Do you know?
Because they're both walkers.
Yeah, because they don't
have
use
everyday
everyday
cheers.
cheers, so that's why they have that technique.
Yeah, absolutely unreal. And if you think we're going to stop there, nobody is safe from the Third Eye. Not until I.W.B.F.
Have a look at it.
And
We're only asking them to look at it, aren't we? Look at the classification system, because it's gone crazy. We don't care about which player it is. We're just finding them, and we will find them. We've got loads to come.
well, we're not just finding them, are we? We're researching the ones that people are sending in as well.
Yeah, we will find them. So it just needs to change. And like you think about it, we're 3 years away from the Paralympics. There's time for a change. You got the Euros this year. You got the Worlds to come. You can make those changes. And stance is reclassify everybody.
Yeah.
Reclassify everybody.
It needs it. There's too many breaking the system. And as long as the system has these breakers in, that means the system's broke.
It's failing. Reclassify them, and on your new reclassifying, stipulate why they've got these. That's what people want to know. You know, you can't have, you know, you're missing limbs and you're getting 3 points off. That's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah.
It just needs a rethink.
It does. But there's that theme tune.
Really fucking boring. Ain't you all fire with your shitty stories? They've gone on forever.
What theme tune? Captain Scarlet. Captain Scarlet. Mine is.
Right, this week's Captain Scarlet. I give you the option. Would you like to go first, or would you like to go second? Mark Young, you are our hero.
You are a hero. Mark Young
Definitely a hero.
was so clever that he gave Mikel Arteta to Arsenal to make sure they win a trophy. Oh Lord! Go on, lad. That's a good one. You didn't? Yeah, you see, I'm right on the button.
Expected that. That was a good one. Mark Young once got pulled over for speeding. The police officer got away with a warning.
Oh my God! Oh Lord, have mercy, Jesus, John, come on, man.
Oh,
It's a killer. It's a killer. It's a killer.
hey,
Hey,
good.
yeah, Scarlet, Scarlet. Oh my God. Hey, that's the end of part 1. Da Vinci style. Take a look at this advert of all the beautiful things that he gives you. Wheelchairs, hand control. Hey, how's your hand controls going?
Mint. Absolutely mint.
That's why you get it from Da Vinci Mobility. We will see you in part 2.
We're no different, we're all the same. In the everybody, absolutely everybody in the whole wide world. Everybody free and everybody needs absolutely everybody. Absolutely
Yo, we're back for part 2. I hope you enjoyed our delicious advert of Da Vinci Mobility. We've got a lot of things we've got to say in part 2. We've got a reminder, we're recruiting, looking for a woman with experience in the game to join the movement.
Yeah. We have had some suggestions.
Sue Peel, Jill Fox-Brown, Sarah Grady, all names mentioned to us. Come on. All you have to do is come on and talk about the game, the women's game. We just need you, that's all.
Yeah.
We just need you.
We just need women that know the history of the women's game.
Yeah, that would be great. Sooner rather than later. Guess what?
What's that sound?
JP's News Round. Woo! What you got in the news round, lad? What you got?
Interesting one today. So for some reason, Ronnie has opened up in the video printer as saying Champions Cup 4P achieved. We've covered that, Ronnie. I don't know why she's put that there. We've already covered that.
Ronnie, stay off the sauce.
Yeah,
right.
Obviously the Prosecco was involved in that, right? So,
Honest to God.
but second in the list, she's wrote, UK finals are approaching. Could Steelers win each division? Well, I have seen something on the Steelers page saying that in the playoffs, in every category. But we can't confirm it
Or deny it.
because we just don't know. And here's the thing. After doing some research, and 3 people have contacted us over this, we can't understand that you've got your Premier Division with 8 teams in. And as it sits right now, the top 4 are going to playoffs. In 8th place is Mohawks. Are they relegated?
Don't know.
Or do they stay there? What happens to the champions of the 1st Division? Do they have to apply to get in the Premier Division?
Yeah, but the thing is,
If they apply and
Hold on.
succeed, does that mean Mohawks are relegated?
hold on. There's a big problem with that. And you know what the problem is?
What?
The champions could already have a team in the Premier Division.
Yeah.
So it's
I just
nonsensical.
don't get,
isn't
I
it?
just don't understand. I don't understand how these people,
My question.
I.W.B.
Yeah, go on.
are trying to tell finals and asking people to step up to take over the streaming side of the game and that. What have you told them? What have you sent to these companies to see if they want the streaming project of the finals? The format of the finals, where it says 6 o'clock Friday, WPL Semi 1, 8 o'clock WPL Semi 2. We want to know who's playing.
Yeah, but the thing is, John, this is my point is, if there is promotion and the same teams already in there, should they be at the playoffs? There's a question for you.
There's a question.
Should they be at the
Exactly.
playoffs? Because the playoffs is meant to decide who goes up and who goes down. Now,
But I don't think it does, because I don't think there is a relegation or a promotion.
Right.
And at the same time, if there's no relegation and promotion, and you can just apply to go into a division, what is the point?
I don't know. I'm not sure. Maybe somebody out there will be able to answer our question. Maybe somebody will be out there to answer our question. So, I don't know. It's a good one. It's a good one. That's for sure. But until we know who's in the event, then there's no point sending it to media, is it? Kev Hayes at Sheffield, if you know who you're playing and what you're playing, let us know, man. Drop us a line so we can.
Hang on, Saints. What was you saying then about Kev Hayes?
I said drop us a line and let us know who you're playing. If you know when you're
Well,
playing.
that's what we need. We need to know whether
Lee
they're
Fawcett,
going.
chairman of the Mohawks, drop us a line. Let us know who you're playing so we can, you know what I mean? At least we know what we're going to watch. For the love of God, we don't. Anyway, enough of that rubbish. What else you got in JP's news round?
The last one regarding this is from watching Euro Cup 1, 2 and 3 and watching Champions Cup. The Aussie players, the French and the German players right now are looking top.
Looking sharp, isn't they?
They're looking tip top, I'm telling you. From what we know about one GB player, and we don't know nothing else about any others, it's a concern.
It's a huge
It's an absolute
concern.
concern.
And it's a huge concern what we know about one player. I'm not going to say his name or anything, but Jesus. I don't know what's going to happen with this player. He needs help. Whatever it happens, he needs some sort of help because he's totally in denial of what the situation is. And if you don't break that out, you know.
Yeah.
Listen, lad, all we're going to say is you're risking your career for a long, long, long time if you don't sort yourself out. I'm not going to say nothing else. That's all we're going to say. That's all we're going to say. Now then, another new section we got. Woo! Look at all these new sections.
We
Ronnie,
mentioned it last week.
I'll tell you, Ronnie is giving us some hard work to do. And it's the classification spotlight on the Delinquents All-Star. What we call it? No, we're not going to call it all. We're going to call it the Delinquent Star 12 from the history of the game.
Yeah. A World 12 team.
From all ages, or what we can remember. If we get it wrong, just
as far back as we can remember.
Go ahead, lad. This is your baby. What
So
we going
me
with
and Steve
first?
have spoke numerous times on the phone about this, and we decided to make it a feature on the show. Over the next few weeks, we're going to talk about different classifications. So for this opening week, we're going to talk about the ones and the 1.5s from history. Now, as you know, and we've pointed out, if we was to pick a 12 team, we wouldn't be putting 3 ones in.
But would we
Sorry.
would we put 2 1s and a 1.5?
I don't think we would.
Okay, so we're just gonna have a
Well,
one.
I wouldn't. Would you? Tell the viewers, would you?
It depends if I had a decent 2. If I had a decent 2, no. If I didn't have a decent 2, I probably would put a 1.5 in there. But it definitely wouldn't be. I'd probably just go with 2 lows, 2 1s, or a 1 and a 1.5. That was what I'm gonna go for. So, man, this is our first one.
Well, before we start, you've got to tell the viewers the truth. When we were doing our list, trying to remember good 1s, good 1.5s, going back in time, there was a big guy that used to play for Canada. Looked like an old farmer. Henderson, his surname. Couldn't think of his first name. We thought he was a 1. Then we was doubting ourselves and we thought he was a 1.5. But then after we did some digging and research, we found out he was a 2.
Yeah, he was a monster.
But not only did we find out he was a 2, we also found out you can go all the way back to 1992 on the IPC website and find out who was the 12-man team for whatever country was there. But the one thing you can't find out anywhere is player classification.
Yeah, so we've had to. It's been tough, but we've done it, lad. So, since we've done it, what are the names we got?
Okay, so the names we've got are Australia's Jerry Hewson,
Yeah, like
USA's Eric Barber,
the GOAT. Bar.
Mark Borisov, Canada,
Yeah.
Riyad Salem from France, Sir Philip Craven,
Yeah.
1.5, Mike Schlappy, USA, Abdi-Jammer, GB, and the Doctor himself, Mark Cheney. Now, from our remembering of history, that's the elite of the 1s and 1.5s.
Obviously, if we've forgotten anybody, just punch us a line and let us know, and we'll consider them. So, and we got to get 2 out of this elite. I've seen all of them play.
So have I.
It's tough. It's tough. It's tough. It depends what sort of 1 do we want.
In fact, I've played against all of them.
Let me have a look. Yes, so have I.
Well, let's just break it down in a quick. I'll break it down in my terms, and you give us yours.
Let's go on each player quickly. We got seconds on each player. Tell
All
me. Right.
So,
What's
Phil Craven. Would I have him in me 12? Sir Phil. 100%. He makes my list.
Hold on a minute. Let's stop right there. Stop right there. We got a problem.
Why?
Because I'd have him in my 12, so we only got 1 spot for all those others. Why would you like Phil? The reason I'd have him.
But what we'll do is you'll have a 12 and I'll have a 12.
No.
Yeah,
Wait,
and then
no,
at the end of the
no,
task,
no,
we'll put it
no,
on Facebook and see.
No, this is our 12. It's not your 12. We have to agree, and we've agreed on 1.
All right.
We've agreed. Let the public. They can choose from the others. They're 12. We've agreed. Our first spot is going to go to Phil Craven. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah.
So Phil Craven is in. Note it. Phil Craven is in. Now, we now have to choose from Barber, Hewson, Borisov, Jammer, Riyad, Shalapi, or Cheney.
Yeah.
Now, I'll go for Eric Barber. Played at the point. You could never get the ball off of him.
Yeah, you couldn't.
You know, he was like a general at the point. I've never known anybody at that low point there who could do that. And he could make that free throw line shot.
Yeah.
Go ahead. You talk to me about Jerry.
Jerry Hewson was a master of the dark arts. what the referee didn't see, he got away with. He was filth. But at the same time, he was he orchestrated everything. He got the bigs in. He did the dirty fouling.
Yeah.
He was a leader for the Aussies, especially in that 96 team as well.
So now we've got Borisov. I think he was a key member of the team of that Canadian.
This is my concern. Borisov and Eric Barber are sort of like, you couldn't get the ball off either of them. The only difference is, I think Eric Barber had a better shot.
Yeah, but I also think Barber had a better pass. He was a better pass. I think Borisov was just to orchestrate. He just sat there. He didn't really have to do a lot, but he orchestrated. He was a great player, great defender. Then we got Jammer. Jimmy Jammer. We know a lot about Jimmy Jammer. Probably one of the best one-point shooters. Probably Cheney may be the only one that's better than him. But his all-round game is pretty tight too.
The thing is, you just said it there. When it comes down to a scorer, Abdi was a good shooter. Yeah?
Yeah, definitely.
We agree on that. Abdi was a great shooter. But Abdi didn't give you a 30-point game like Cheney. Cheney was just an assassin.
Yeah, but with Cheney, he was an assassin, but he just stayed. His game, he just got to a spot, he stayed there, he never moved. I don't think he done a lot for the rest of the team in his game. There's no two ways about it. He was an assassin. He could shoot the ball. He can make 30 points. If you give it to him, it's lights out,
Well,
isn't it?
don't forget, Cheney was GB's top scorer in the 96 final.
Shows you how shit we were. But no, yeah. So, then we got Riyadh.
Now, Riyadh Salem, with all the third eye classification stuff we're doing at the minute, double amputee, no hands,
No legs.
no. But he was so fast. We did a video session at Lillishall, the GB men, and we worked out that he was the most dangerous person with the French team.
Yeah.
Because it was him that was getting yo-yoing on curls. It was him getting Philippe Baye open. And at one point, he was a one-man press.
Yeah. Talking about we're just going off how good was it to see Yo-Yo playing? What's he doing, lad? He's still banging away those shots. Anyway, yeah.
I don't know about playing. I was just glad that he's still alive.
He's not drunk himself to oblivion. Yeah, so we got Riyadh, Mike Shalapi. Another great one.
Part of the 92 USA team, 94 Gold Cup winner.
Yeah. So, Mr. Jonathan, who are we going to go with?
Well, I'm definitely having Phil Craven in.
No, Phil's done. Phil's done. That's done and dusted, lad. It's who we're going to have next. Me? I think it's Barber.
I'm between Barber and Cheney.
I just think it's Barber. His all-round play, everything else about his game. For me, it's Barber. You're going for Cheney. Put your tenths in for Cheney. Barber all-round game. At the
Barber
point.
all-round game. But if I've got a guy that can, in a classification as a 1, you know, we're talking 2.5, 3s and up, or give you 20, 30-point games. We're talking a one-pointer that was renowned for giving you a 30-point game.
Yeah, but because he had to, whereas Barber didn't have to, because he
didn't have to. You could have had Callum going in. You could have had Colin Pride banking it left, right, and centre.
Callum never played. Come on, John, you know that. He never played.
He did for Sheffield. He just didn't for GB.
Yeah, exactly. We're talking about renowned stars. Barber gave you everything. He gave you everything that you want at the point. He couldn't get the ball off him.
I'm going to shock you now.
Go on.
Thank you.
I'm going to go with Barber.
He gave you everything. Whatever you wanted, he gave you at the point. You could never get the ball off him. You passed the ball back to the point. You couldn't even spin
and I'll
it.
tell you why I'm giving you Barber. I've played against both. I'm an avid fan of Cheney.
Yeah, me too.
But if I go back in my mind and visualise everything, all I can visualise is the 94 semi-final, GB France. the miracle win. Now, Cheney played a lot in that game, but he didn't do much.
That's what I'm saying. He's a great. He's probably the greatest 1-point shooter with him and Abdi, but as an all-round. And if you look at how we're going to fix the other team, it's Craven and Barber. Come on. So we're going to go with Barber.
Yeah,
Lock him
Craven and
in.
Barber.
Lock him in. They've locked in our first 2 entrants into the delinquent style team. Is Phil Craven.
Next week
Eric
is going to
Barber.
be even tougher. We might have to have the show a little bit longer because 2s and 2.5s, that is going to be a tough decision.
Do we break it up? Do we break
Big
it up?
Big 2.5s. I mean, that's going to. If you know any 2 and 2.5 that you think would make the world history 12, send it in to us. Help us. We'll do the research.
Yeah.
Just give us the name.
Yeah, it's got to be in to us by Monday because we always film on Tuesday, except for this week. Right, that was good, man. That was good. We agreed, kind of. Don't know if other people would agree with us, but we've agreed. Barbara and Phil Craven. So now, John, this bit is kind of unbelievable with your research. Tell me what you've been up to on this bit.
Well, it's that time. Here comes the theme tune.
Oh, no. I'm not doing it this week. I refused.
Saints Mastermind.
Thank you, sir.
5 in a minute. Now,
minute and a half. Come on.
Last week, we did notice it went 1 minute and 44 seconds.
Exactly, 5 in a minute is a joke. Not even, they don't get 5 in a minute in Mastermind.
So I've shortened the questions, but kept it on the same category.
I thought you was mixing it up.
I am going to mix it up once you've got a rhythm of it. But
I've
right
got
now
a
you're
rhythm of
struggling.
it. I got 3 out of 5 last week.
Well, you're struggling.
No, I'm not. I got 3 out of 5 over the threshold.
I'll change category once you've got 4 out of 5 2 weeks in a row.
No! Bollocks. I'm not having that. I got 3 out of 5. If I get another 3 out of 5, boom, a
You
new
get 3
category.
out of 5 here, even I'll be impressed.
Yeah, go on. Put the clock
Ready?
on. 1 minute 30.
The clock starts now. Trooper Johnson, USA's ultimate shooting guard. What's his first name?
Yeah, I know it as well. Oh my god. Pass, go back. I know it as well.
2.
Yeah.
Who did GB beat in the 1994 Gold Cup quarterfinal?
I think it was Canada.
3. Since 1990, there has been 9 Women's Gold Cups finals. In the final, how many teams have scored 60 or more in 9 Gold Cup finals?
60 or more.
Yeah.
God, this is ridiculous. This is 9. 60.
So 9 finals. How many teams in the final of the Gold Cup women have scored 60 or more?
5. I'm gonna go with 5.
Ooh. Question 4. GB men's highest percentage 3-point shooter ever.
Highest percentage 3-point shooter ever. It's not good. I'm gonna go with Terry Bywater. I'm gonna go with. There's only 2 people.
And the last one. Name the Mexican who schooled Gary Peel in the 1996 Atlanta game.
He plays for Dallas Mavericks. His name is. I can see him with a big beard. Oh my god. Ortega.
Damn, you got it.
Ortega. Trooper John. I know what he's. Oh. Go on.
Don't forget, you said 3's easy.
Yeah, go on.
Question 1. Trooper Johnson's first real name is?
Go on.
Lawrence.
Yeah.
Question 2. Who did GB beat in the 1994 Gold Cup quarter-final.
Canada.
Well, it can't be Canada, can it, if they got the bronze medal, idiots.
Was it?
It's Australia by 2. In fact, Troy Sachs had a full-court shot at the buzzer. If it had gone in, he'd have lost. GB.
Yeah, so I got that wrong. Down 2.
Question 3. Since 1990, there has been 9 women's Gold Cups. How many teams scored 60 or more in the final? You said 5.
Yeah.
The correct answer is
0.
No one's ever scored 60 in a final of the Women's World Championships.
Well, that's garbage. That's a trick question.
Nobody tells you. 60 is the magic number in women's basketball.
We've said that, haven't we?
Yeah.
I thought somebody would have got.
That's why I thought you'd have got it.
No,
That's
because
why
I thought somebody
got
would have got 60. God damn it.
And GB men's highest percentage 3-point shooter ever is...
It's Terry. You
No.
or JJ.
It's not.
Who is it?
Who did you say?
Terry, you or JJ, I think.
Wrong, and wrong.
Go on.
I.W.B.Delinquents at 52%.
You're shitting me. How many shots did he take?
Well, he took 4 in Athens. And I think he took 4 in Sydney.
No, man. You got to be taking more than that. That's ridiculous.
No, it's on record. It's on that Canadian website.
That is bollocks. I'm not having that. He's only taking 8 shots.
Well,
Do me a favour.
I mean, I took 8 in one game in Sydney. In one game, I shot 8. I had to go 8 3-pointers.
Bollocks.
But he's down as GB's highest 3-point.
You got to have a certain amount of shots, man. You can't just be having 8.
Doesn't say that on the website.
It's absolute bollocks, that is.
And the final question was, name the Mexican who schooled Gary
got
Peel
one.
in the 1996 Gold Cup final. The answer was Dallas Mavericks and Mexico legend Raul Ortega.
So I should get 2 for that.
Here's the highlight, just to show you all again. Classic clip.
Yeah, I love this. I love this part of the show.
Tries to go around the outside, blocked out by Gary Peel. Just look at the skill of this man. He's through again. Great Britain have to stop Ortega. He's very, very dangerous underneath the basket. Goes one way, then the other. And watch this, there's a small gap, but he finds it. Tremendous play by Mexico.
Classic clip.
3-1. Move on to something else, man. Let's get something else, man.
Well, I think that's all she wrote.
Yeah.
Apart from... Haven't we got something else, actually?
No, I'm talking about my Master Saint. I'm getting pummeled here, just like our bloody mystery person. Anyway,
Yeah.
our next section. What did you find out? We knew that there was a coaching course going on this weekend, and we had an infiltrator. Tell them about it, JP. Tell them about it.
Yes. So the coaching grade 2 level, whatever you call it, which was held in Wakefield, we had an insider. The insider reported back that Brixton Ballers coach Austin Kentembi, or Atembi, however you pronounce it, took the course.
Yeah, go on. Tell me about it. I bet it was good.
The course is no longer a 4-day course for a level 2. It's a 2-day course.
At £400.
At £400. And they've already advertised the next course for the 6th and the 13th of July in
East London.
East London. Now, on our insider's report, besides the portfolio that they've emailed over to us so we can have a read, the stuff you do after you've done your grade 2 course, where you go away, you work with a mentor, and there's so many hours you have to get done
Signed off.
to get signed off, they've removed that.
Yeah, so I've just, with the AB, I've just had to sign off 2 coaches already for their hours. And I said, one of them, go back, you need more. Because I've watched them coach, you're not very good. But they've done away with that, so we're just getting the scraps. What did he say the coach, the mentor or the tutor was like? I've heard he, you know, what was he like?
Well, all he said was he asked the basic things, and when it came down to announcing that there's no follow-up, you know, there's not this so many hours of signing off you need to get done before you get your award, the mentor said, believe it or not, like he was in disbelief himself that he had to say that. So for some reason, the grade 2's gone from a 4-day course down to a 2-day course, and by the sound of it, it's gone even worse because you don't get sent away to practice or work or anything. It's literally, you've got your 2 days, you've got your award, enter our sport and ruin it.
On you go. And this is what we missed something because there was jobs advertised, weren't there? Did we talk about it last week or the week before for under 25 under 25 coaches for the men? Now, let me say this right. It's pointless. There isn't a championship for under 25s. The only thing that's going on for the under 25s is maybe the Commonwealth Games. England coach. What is the point in that? I don't understand. £20 an hour to do what? To do what? You've got under 23 coaches, so what do you need under 25 coach? Can't they do the work? You've got head coaches.
Well, this is for an England under 25. But if I remember rightly, under 25s is for women because the men's is under 23s. But because it's England, you're saying this is for
Commonwealth Games, without doubt. England's, because you have England, Ireland, Wales and Scotland for the Commonwealth Games, don't you? It's without doubt for the Commonwealth Games. It's not for anything else. You don't need an England coach.
According to it, the England assistant coach is on £15 an hour plus travel expenses. The head coach is on £20 an hour plus travel expenses. Now tell me, or tell the viewers what you said to me on the phone about that £20 an hour.
I won't get out of bed for that. It's ridiculous.
Well, yeah, but why?
Because it's what work. You know, I mean, the job's much more difficult than £20 an hour. If you're going to go and scout players, you're going to go and coach. Do you know what I mean? £20 for an hour. You're going to drive. It's going to take you about 4 hours to get wherever you're going to get to. It's just slave labour. £20 an hour. You must be joking.
Yeah.
And
you're going to get your petrol expenses to drive to Lothian to watch a game in Scotland, and then get paid £20 an hour for an hour and a half of footage. So it's 30 quid to watch a game, and then your petrol expenses, in other words.
It's crazy. It's nuts. Why don't you save all of that money, those £20 an hour, and you have a full-time head coach, men's, full-time head coach, women's, and assistant. They can do all those jobs. They can do the under 23s. Throughout the season. They can do the under 23s. They can do the scouting. They can do it all.
Yeah.
Yet another way of wasting our money.
Well,
and the last thing, the news that the hot off the press that we know is, what about the thing that you found today, John, about the Women's Premier League? The actual...
Well, if it's true, according to one of my deep undercover sources, and I'm not talking about Jack Daniel's source, I'm talking about...
I do love Jack Daniel's source.
That the WPL was approved and signed off in agreement on a 6-year contract under the influence of former CEO Lisa Pierce, was her name.
So think about that. 6 years. What does that equate to, John, per year? What they've given them?
Well, if it's 200 grand a year, the WPL, that's 1.2 million
over 6 years. Think about this, and this is... Go on.
The thing that's got me on this is this CEO, you know, she would have had a big write-up when she joined. We all were so proud, you know, the chair of the board would have said, but we've got this new CEO, she's got this background, like they did with Justine. All the malarkey. This woman has come in and signed a 6-year deal for a WPL, which is a pilot. It's never happened in this country, this WPL malarkey. You don't commit 6 years of funding to that. You don't commit £1.2 million to that.
I'm going to close. Think about this, guys. All of you are watching. Think about what 1.2 million could have done for your leagues. The Premier League, Division 1, Division 2, Division 3, and our great Women's League. Think about what it could have done with that. And that, I'm going to leave you with that, because that is a wrap. Stay loud.
Stay loyal.
Always stay rebellious. The Delinquents. We're only just getting started.
That's a team, gentlemen. Hell yeah. And either we heal now as a team, or we will die as individuals.